dit soort video's.
I get these messages regularly. Why would you choose meat over plants? Surely when it comes to plants, they're healthy for us. Surely there's a massive benefit of eating plants on a daily basis. Now listen, I get it. I was there at one stage. I was absolutely convinced that no matter what, I should be eating vegetables on a daily basis. I had my vegetables pretty much in every single meal. Now, before I came to Carnivore, the last thing that came out of my diet was vegetables. Because like I said, I was convinced. Now listen, if you guys are eating vegetables and you feel amazing and you see there's a massive benefit of taking them, no issues. You keep doing you. This is just for me. When I was eating vegetables, I didn't feel good. Okay, I felt like crap. It was affecting my mental health. My energy wasn't great. I had massive gut issues. I was walking around bloated.
Waarom blijf je dooreten van kruidnoten? Dit komt onder andere door onze natuurlijke voorkeur voor zoet, zout en calorierijk eten. Kruidnoten zijn zoet en calorierijk. Dit maakt ze moeilijk te weerstaan. In kruidnoten zit suiker. Suiker zorgt ervoor dat de dopamine wordt afgegeven aan je hersenen, waardoor je goed en blij voelt. Dit zorgt ervoor dat je graag door wil eten. Ook de vorm heeft invloed. Doordat we zo klein zijn, eten we er meestal meer dan één. Dat samen zorgt ervoor dat het moeilijk is om er niet te veel van te eten. Wil je het graag bij één handje houden? Doe ze dan in een bakje en leg de zak terug in de kast. Geniet er vooral van, kies degene die jij het lekkerst vindt. Wat is jouw favoriet?
This isn't just the juiciest roast of all time. It's goat.
So, I just did a video about fasting when traveling. It kind of took off on TikTok. And sure enough, I was showing oatmeal on the video, and some doctor goes, because I was saying this is why I fast, and you know, somebody made a comment about diabetic, there's nothing there for them. And then this doctor went, well, steel cut oat are low in the glycemic index. That's what you should, for one, doc, there's no steel cut oats in a budget economy cafeteria. If that even mattered, because what the fuck are oats? Are they berries? Are they seeds? Are they just flakes of shit? Whatever. What is oats? It's high fiber, right? You need that? No, you don't. And then what does it break down to? It breaks down to fucking glucose. So doc, fuck your oatmeal.
If you want real help, you start with strength. And strength starts with real food. Animal-based eating isn't a trend. It's the foundation of human life.
We've been fed the noise, the charts, the fear, but never the truth. The body knew from the beginning. Strength wasn't lost, it was buried, clarity wasn't gone. It was starved, energy didn't fade. It was waiting for the fuel we were built on. Today we take it back.
Built from the inside, heal from the core. Feed the system that carried your ancestors before you. Start with strength, let your life rise back to you. Feed the fire that your body always knew. From fog to focus, from pain to proof. Strength begins the moment you choose the truth. Choose the truth. Start with strength. Start with strength. Real food, real life.
Your bones crave minerals, your hormones crave balance. Your brain craves the fuel that lights the mind clean. Animal nutrition isn't optional, it's essential. Every step forward is a return to what works. This is how you rebuild, with meat, with intention, with courage to question what never healed you. Your body remembers.
What real food feels like, give it truth, and it will give you life. Start with strength, watch your energy
you got lab-grown meat everywhere, apparently. And we've got some things to talk about. Mark's got a bunch of things to say. We're going to find out what Peter eats. And there's some good news in the world, allegedly. Welcome, everybody.
Is sick and fucking tired of seeing all the carnivore shit all over these fucking...
I can't even look at a carbohydrate.
Now that I think about it, we probably would.
You know, that it doesn't make sense.
I was tired of the guessing games, faking health, playing diet names, low fat life, vegan soul, but deep inside I didn't feel whole. Then came fire, then came fat, steak on the plate, I bounced right back. No more crashing, no more drag.
You're literally treating your diet like a fucking religion.
Looking forward to talking about this recent controversy. I've already been doing it for over 2 weeks now.
Your fiber intake is fucking zero.
There is a constant in the calculation.
It is the most toxic fucking diet I have ever seen. Ever. It's not healthy. It is far from fucking healthy. Okay? It is the least fucking healthiest thing you could ever do for yourself.
Sunday. Welcome into the meat of the matter, everybody. Welcome, everybody, on the chats. We love you. Byron, I know you're here. Thank you for your music. I will urge everybody to go support him. Subscribe to his stuff on YouTube and TikTok. It's Carnivore Beats, and we really appreciate it. We love the music, and it helps us get into this. So we're here. How you doing today, boys?
Oh, good, sir.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
What have you been eating, Peter? Are we going to find that out later, or what's going on?
Yeah, French cuisine. That's dangerous, right?
Right on. Well, the world's getting crazier and crazier, it seems, and everybody's countries are in the mix apparently. So there's some good news actually. Apparently, Jonathan, I think shout out to you, buddy. Welcome back to your home. I think you got back from the conference safely. But I saw one of his videos and he mentioned that Norway has completely banned Bovaer, which is great. Denmark did as well, apparently, and in Canada. Well, Canada grew some balls, apparently, because we said no to the lab-grown meat fiasco that was going on, the clone meat thing. That is obviously what people are saying. I don't know how true it is, but, I don't trust a thing that those corporations and the governments throw at us. So, this is some good news. Hopefully we can all eat real stuff. That's the goal, I think. And that leads us into the first sort of thing I wanted to talk about today, guys, is, Sweden banned Bovaer as well in the chats there, Jonathan. That's awesome. So Mark pointed out something, and it's kind of come into the the awareness of people is Campbell soup using lab-grown meat. So we got a little video. We'll get into that, and then we'll get into some of the other stuff that we got to talk about today. Once again, we love you. We're supporting the carnivore community worldwide. They're lighting up. They're getting some crazy big names on it, and go follow them on Instagram and YouTube. And of course, we love it that we're here. So let's get started today. We're gonna deal with this video
about this.
Okay, 1 second here, and we'll get going.
About this, I am so pissed off right now. Oh lordy. So the vice president of Campbell's has come forward and says that people shouldn't be eating this because it's not real chicken. It's like some 3D manufactured fake.
Man, the focus that we're putting on this Campbell soup story is so misguided. A leaked recording came out as part of a lawsuit where one of the VPs of cybersecurity at Campbell Soup is yelling about how the company's lower priced soups are, quote, shit for fucking poor people. And then he goes on to make racist comments about Indian employees and spread inaccurate information about ingredients, suggesting that they use bioengineered meats and 3D printed chicken. And it's the last part that everyone seems to be really focused on, even though that's the part that's completely inaccurate. 3D printed chicken is not in our food supply. Lab-grown meat isn't even in our food supply. And if it was in Campbell's soup, that soup would be so expensive. It's not there. They use chicken meat from chickens. This guy...
Would it, though? Would it be expensive? I don't know about that. Like, that's kind of something that, like, I mean, she kind of goes on a little bit, but I guess we'll leave it there.
I think we can leave it there, yeah. She goes on. She rambles on a bit.
In her little rant there, it makes me want to trust her, doesn't it? Like, oh yeah, okay, all your points are valid. I mean, how many times have we heard that governments and people they're already doing it? You know what I mean? If they're mentioning it that it's possible, they've already done it, and it's it's coming. So I don't trust a thing about that. And
she thinks it's not happening already.
And isn't it funny how people, you have a whistleblower and then they just get blacklisted and heretic, you're stupid. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't love to know what you guys think in the chats about this, because I don't believe a thing anymore. And, like our show, we say what we call out the bullshit, but every time, it's already been done. It's already doing it. The Bovaer thing was a clear example. They were already doing it in Denmark. Brian, Hunter-Gatherer Mindset, pointed that out to us months and months ago. And so, yeah, it's pretty crazy. What do you think, Pete?
Well, we have to carefully define what 3D printed meat is, because I live near a university, next to a university here, where they actually research these things. And producing 3D meat, like lab-grown meat, is still quite complicated. I mean, it's still, or at least expensive. So I'm a bit hesitant in accepting the idea that it's actually in this soup. I mean, this soup is rubbish, and things like vegan meat, like vegan substitutes, they exist, and they will try all kinds of crazy stuff. But I think it would be, I mean, she's probably right that there isn't stuff like this in it, but it's distracting from what it's about, because she suggests that we should, if we don't have the financial means, that we should be eating this type of soups. Well, we can also eat plants and meat. I mean, Mark, you said it. You can buy ground meat for like €5 per pound here in the EU, and buy 1 pound for a lot of people. That's almost enough to spend to get nutrition for an entire day. So that's not so much.
No, and that's the problem I have with the video, because she's been saying this a few times on other videos, that if you're poor, there should be no issues with buying these foods. What's wrong with buying a can of sardines?
Yeah,
a can of sardines are like what, $2, something like that. I mean, you had myself, Peter only spoke about this the other day. Nick Norris did a 30-day challenge. All he did was just eat sardines. Yeah. And he lived on this. He was only, I think he was eating like 2 tins, 3 tins a day, and he was fine. He got in the best shape possible. His health markers improved. What's the problem here?
Yeah, and you know what I mean. If you look at the budget side of things too, like, I mean, I'm on a challenge right now, and we're 15 days into it, and it's funny how all the people that are in it now, who have just started like sort of dipping their feet into the carnivore salads, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, but they're all commenting on how cheap it is. They're saying, wow, this is like, I'm actually saving money. I'm not snacking. I'm not buying. So that whole aspect of the budgeting, look at the ingredients in Campbell soup. I mean, I think there's 2 major problems in our food supply, because these are the things that we grew up on: Kellogg's cereal, Campbell soup, like 2 things with the ingredients list that are miles long. And it's horrifying when you read the ingredients.
And isn't it amazing that the owner has said he has said on YouTube and on TikTok that you guys should not be buying this food. And now we have we have all these experts. It's his company. He's telling people what to do. But now you have all these experts that are saying, ignore what he's saying. This is perfectly fine for you. Like, how could you make it up? Honestly, how?
Yeah, and isn't it funny? As soon as someone says something so extreme as "don't buy my soup," where
have we heard that where have we heard that before? Yeah. We heard that with Kellogg's.
Yeah.
We heard that with Kellogg's.
The granddaughter of Kellogg. Yeah, the granddaughter was like, "Don't eat this.
Don't go near this stuff."
Buy potatoes and tomato juice if you really want to eat a soup like this. You get a good quality soup that is maybe even nutrient dense if you add in a little bit of meat, or you eat an egg beside it. And I mean, it's not like you don't get nutrition from plants. So if you cook it yourself, it's already 10 times better.
Yeah. You want a really good soup? Take a really good quality chicken, boil it, drink it. Simple.
Simple as that. Yeah, simple. I mean, at the end of the day, I think people need to understand that regardless whether you're rich or poor, you can still make it work.
Yeah.
You really can, because I only spoke to Peter about this the other day. Like, I wasn't always in this fortunate position where I am at the moment. 5 years ago, I had no money, literally no money, and I was living on ground beef, and my shopping bill came to around maybe 30 quid a week. But I made it work. Yeah, I made it work. I made sure I had a week's supply of food, and I was in really, really good shape. I felt good. I was always full. I wasn't hungry, and all I pretty much lived on was sardines, ground beef, and eggs. That's all I lived on.
And you know, like I've talked to people about this too. Like when people throw the calories at me, I throw them gram per gram nutrition. 1 gram per gram eaten. What nutrition does that bring? And there is some nutrient dense foods, you know, like the ground beef, the eggs, sardines that are, you know, that's what we eat anyway. You know what I mean? And it's amazing when people, that's the thing where a lot of people get hung up is like, I need to budget. I need to buy this crap. And when you just really realize what this stuff is made of and what it brings to the table, it's really, you know, it's wrong on so many levels, and that's the thing.
Butter. I mean, butter is like half a pound for €4 or say $4. I don't know if maybe it's $5 in the US, but you get like 2,500. Well, not 2,000 calories from it. So that's a day's worth of calories for a lot of people.
And I don't know about you guys, but I see this in my local shop because I noticed this. People are saying that they can't afford certain things, but then you look on their trolleys. Like these people are paying nearly £200-300 a week on garbage.
Yeah,
garbage.
And I mean, even if you look at like the prices, we'll just say, for instance, at McDonald's, when I was a kid, you get a Happy Meal for what, $1? Now it's like, you know, a combo meal. Looking up there, and I'm like, I can buy a steak for that. Like, it's insane how people. You know, there's always these hangups, especially in the carnivore space, where they always, I could never afford that. I could never, and they don't get it. And it's like you're as you're eating your chips, drinking your Coke, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's the way they were taught. It's like when you look at your plate, we have to have the color rainbow. We have to have everything on our plate. People will never get their head around that. Oh, you're just telling me that I just need to eat ground beef.
Yeah,
you're telling me that I just need to have eggs, that nothing else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, it's really funny how, you know, in our lives, we've been told that. And it's just like, you look at the price of vegetables right now. I don't know if you ever.
Crazy.
I tend to not, but then once in a while I look at asparagus. I'm like, what?
That's what I was going to say. I was in my shop during the week. A bag of asparagus was nearly £7. £7.
Yeah, cucumber for like $1.50 or $2 as well. I mean, you get water for it.
and you know, like coming from Canada, we get all our cheap vegetables from California and Mexico. It doesn't make sense. Our local stuff is ridiculous, and I mean, even beef in Canada is ridiculous. I mean, we get imported New Zealand grass-fed beef for cheaper than it is to buy beef in BC, in Canada, where I am.
Wow,
how is that humanly possible? It does not make sense. So I don't know. I tried that a couple of years ago. I went vegan for a fast because it was just to not eat meat for, you know, spiritual reasons. So I was like, okay, well, let's try and see what happens as an experiment. I was so frustrated. Within the first day, I had to eat this big, huge bowl of vegetables. I was like, no, this is shit. I had to cut them. I had to clean them. It was $70 for a meal of vegetables. I'm like, how is this? This isn't cheaper. And I wasn't full. It was just gross, man. And yeah, that was it was an experiment that opened up my eyes, but I was so happy. I'm like, this is not the way, for sure.
I'm making a video today. I'll upload it tonight probably, about the standard diet being restrictive. I mean, you mentioned the vegan diet. It's probably the most restrictive diet of all, especially if you go
and then you got to buy a bunch of
vegan. But sorry.
Then you got to buy a bunch of supplements.
Yeah. But the standard diet as well. I mean, think about it. You always hear the criticism of like, do the carnivore diet for only a few weeks because you won't last. It's restrictive. And I mean, you have to eat a certain amount of fiber. You need to eat a minimum amount of vegetables or fruit. You need to look at your protein intake because they are not complete protein. So you have to account for the right ratios. Yeah. You have to do calorie counting. You have to do portion control.
And God forbid you eat an onion for flavor.
Supplements, right? Because you get ill. And there's fear mongering about all the foods that you shouldn't eat with saturated fat. I mean, it's crazy. And then we're not yet talking about health.
Yeah,
like being restrictive.
We haven't even scratched the surface there, right? And it's like already, man. And I mean, it's not getting any better. Like I went to, there was a business center, Costco, that opened up where I am, and it's huge. I was like, I walked in this place and I'm like, right away I went to the meat section. Like they're selling cases of chunks of beef for thousands of dollars. And I'm looking around. It's not very busy because it's like obviously a business thing. And I'm like, where are all the people that are buying this stuff? Like there is hundreds of crates of French fries, hundreds of crates of vegetable oil. And I'm just like, what how is this possible? Anyway, it was kind of eye-opening, but I'm looking at the beef prices and it's just, it's not on our side, but still, it's still cheaper for me to eat 3 or 4 things. And I get to have steaks. I don't eat ribeyes every day by any stretch. Like that's not the way it is. But when I can buy a half a cow a year, and then I kind of supplement with the deals that I can find locally. And I've got a halal butcher right across the street from me, which is like, the best thing ever. From having been next to living on a farm, having a butcher that's very cautious about where they buy their meat and how they take care of it. It's unreal. And they're great people. So, but I mean, everybody's struggling. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, it's crazy. It really is. It's like you can clearly see where the problem is. People are just poorly educated when it comes to nutrition. That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
Poorly educated when it comes to nutrition. People are absolutely convinced that you have to fill the trolley up with so many different types of food. Like you mentioned, Tony, the vegetables, the fiber, the carbohydrates. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. And then they're told you can have your little bit of processed food. Once it's in moderation, there's no problem. So you can see people they're literally stocking all this stuff up, and I can guarantee most of it is going to waste.
For sure. And if you look at if you are like a student or on a budget, a tight budget, what's the first thing you think of? Mr. Noodles, Kraft Dinner, rice, like all those staples that are really, what are they bringing to the table? Not much. And that's I don't know how many students are out there, and what we did when we were like in school to live. It was, disgusting. Now that you kind of know your way around nutrition, oh my God, like how the hell did you even survive? Like eating that shit.
Yeah. Can I just bring up the point where Jonathan mentioned about the prices of his local farm, where they're pretty much stay the same? It's the same. It's the same in my local butchers. I've spoken to these guys on a regular basis, and I'm saying to them, like, why don't you not increase your prices? Because you're gonna be up against it very, very soon. And they're like, if we up our prices, people are not gonna come into this. They're not gonna come in. And it's actually very, very worrying, because I have a choice to go into my local store and buy the meats, but they're way more expensive.
Yeah.
They're way more expensive. He's making sure that I'm getting the best quality of meat that I want. And he's doing it for like a fraction of the price. And that's why I'm always saying to people, like, listen, go up and support this guy.
Yeah.
He's only a small butcher's, but his quality his quality of meat is unbelievable.
Well,
we have to support these people.
Yeah, when I think about my butcher, he's also quite cheap. If you find the right butcher, they are not more expensive than a supermarket here in the Netherlands. I mean, supermarkets are overpriced because either you get the rubbish, like ground meat with additives like ascorbic acid and all those things, which means that, I mean, the ascorbic acid is maybe not that bad, but it means that the meat is preserved, that it's probably old, that it's not fresh. You cannot judge how it is because this ascorbic acid sort of covers it up. And if you go for very exclusive meat in the supermarket here, you pay like $40-50 for 2 pounds. And my butcher is like, it's very good quality meat, grass-fed.
Yeah.
And of course, you pay a little bit more than at the discounter, but it's still, you get whole pieces of meat and no additives and so on. So.
And if you get knowledgeable about what cuts are what, you can actually get cheaper cuts and make them delicious. Like the chuck roll, like the chuck eye, making those there's like 4 ribeyes in that chuck, where, you know what I mean? If you know what to look for, you can actually find a really good steak for
but you even look at pork belly. Pork belly is very, very cheap in my country. No, because nobody buys it.
Yeah.
Nobody buys it because it's basically fat and a little bit of meat on it, but nobody buys it.
Yeah. And what you can even do is when you consider the meat in the supermarket, also the cheaper meats, you could go to the slaughterhouse. I've done it sometimes. So you don't get the super quality grass-fed beef, but I mean, it's still beef and it's locally raised here. So It's very cheap. It's like I can get 2 pounds of ground meat for like 5 or 6 euros. So that's
And you know what I do? You know what I do? Because I do it every week. I get the bones. All the bones that he has at the back. I say, listen, give them to me. I'll take them off you. I'm making bone broth out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's like soup. It's like soup. Chop up a bit of steak, put it in. Oh, guys, honestly, this time of the year when it's cold, soup. Oh, incredible.
Yeah, and the brisket that Renee, I think his name is Renee, that he mentions that's a perfect cut for cheap meat.
Yeah, and I mean
all kinds of things.
And I know Renee, I think's in Ontario. I think there was a comment there, but in BC and Canada, like we have to do this. Like this is it's really important to know your way around what you can do to budget yourself. Like I mean, I can't afford a whole cow, and I don't have the freezer space for a whole cow, but doing what I can and then sort of fill in the gaps and just being on the alert for deals. I mean, I always walk through these grocery stores. I don't really buy the grocery store meat anymore because I just see that it's just ridiculous as far as what they give you. And, you know, but it's when you're looking for deals and you're talking to your butcher, they'll tell you like, oh, look, I've got some stuff coming in that's going to be, and ask them for trimmings for the broth. Ask them for extra tallow. You can cook with it. You could, you know, you can really budget when you get to know your stuff about in and around the meat world, so to speak, because all these cheaper cuts go, and pork belly, Mark, changed my life, man. Like when I realized, you know, a few years ago that pork belly was like really bacon, just not cut. Holy crap. And then delicious. Like pork belly is
really, really nice. Yeah. Really, really nice.
That's the goods. So we don't want to hear all the bullshit about the carnivore diet's so expensive. You guys, how can you eat ribeyes every day? It's like, you know, it takes a little bit of work. You get good at it.
We wish we could eat ribeyes every day. Wish.
But to be truthful, I don't think I would, because I do believe in honoring the animal, and I do believe in
absolutely.
Like, you know, I'm not saying I eat all the organ meats, because even when I buy a half a cow, they don't give them to me. But I mean, you know, cherishing the animal and respecting that whole part of it is a big deal. And I mean, you know, it comes back. We probably
and don't you think that the lion leaves behind some remnants?
The hyena's got to eat too, man. The hyena's got to eat too. That's right. The circle of life runs deep. So, and that's the part about having these shows and talking about this stuff. Like, hopefully the ears that are kind of curious about the carnivore diet hear these things, because, you know, everybody in the chats they're lighting up as well. It's saying, you know, like we're all doing it. We're all finding a way to do it. And once you make your mind up, feel the difference, you'll find a way to make it more affordable. And I don't think this is, now I won't compromise this. You know, I would rather budget on a carnivore diet first before anything. And you know, you can make it happen for sure.
You can definitely make it happen. You really, really can. Because I see this all the time when I'm taking people on. They're like, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford this. And then when you break it down, and you say, okay, well, listen, what are you doing on a weekly basis? They'll say like, well, I have my cappuccinos every day. I'll have my curry at the weekend. This is how much I'm spending on a week on shopping. And I'm like, well, we could actually do this for a fraction of what you're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, okay, what do you mean? Okay, well, let's break it down. All you need is this. You don't need all this. You don't need all that. You just need this. Yeah. And that's where they just don't understand. Going back to what I just said earlier on, they just can't get over it. They just can't get it out of their head why all they have to do is just pretty much eat red meat or some sort of meat on a plate, and that's it. Nothing else.
Yeah, what's a good approach is to look at what's at offer at the butcher. So if he has a certain cut of meat, or he just an animal arrived and he has certain organs or so, take those, and you save a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the truth too. Like what Victoria just mentioned too. That is, it's always the cheaper for the less they have to do. You know what I mean? So the fattier ground beef is actually cheaper. And you can actually ask the butcher if like I used to do this. I'd be like, can you turn this 80-20 into 75? 75-25. And they'll do it. They'll just add fat. It's
I remember the first time I got ground beef out of my butcher's, he was taking the fat out of my meat. And I said, what are you doing? What are you doing? Leave it alone. Don't take it out. Leave it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of the apprentice butchers. They looked at me like, "You want more fat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll take all." And then I asked them for the trimmings, and they would just give them to me. So when they're cutting up trimming their stuff for the displays, they're throwing away the tallow. They're throwing away the beef fat. I'm like, give it to me. So I would get bags for free.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
100%.
And if you want to add fat, try to add in some bone marrow. That's very nice in ground meat. You get very juicy hamburgers, for example.
No doubt. All right, Peter, what do we got next, buddy? We got some stuff that you've lined up. Let's get into some stuff.
Yeah, let's see. I haven't seen. I'm not sure if I've seen this specific video, but we have a video from Louis Baker.
Oh yeah, this influencer.
Maybe we should shift it to the end, but it will affect our mood.
Yeah, it goes on a bit again.
But let's try it. Let's go.
This morning, my mother-in-law sent me a photo of her chia seed muffins, and it got me thinking about how long it's been since I've had a single gram of fiber. Most people still think that fiber is necessary for good digestion and healthy poops, but it's been 6 years since I've had a single vegetable or fruit. My chronic bloat from veganism is not only completely gone, but I now only poop once a week instead of twice a day. And when I do, they're always smooth as butter and scentless. It's clear to me that I thrive without fiber.
Her poor mother-in-law. Thriving is a weird way of putting it though, isn't it, really? Considering we have heaps of data and evidence at this point that say a diet low in fibre is associated with higher risk of, well, all the fun stuff, like cancer, all-cause mortality, CVD. I don't know about you, but those things are quite high up on my list of shit to avoid. And we've also got pretty solid evidence, pardon the pun, that dropping the kids off just once per week is, again, associated with a higher risk of all-cause mortality. But you do you. Thrive away. She has, however, committed a big no-no in my books, and that is to use anecdotal evidence as gospel, which, in my opinion, gives you a one-way ticket to the twatmosphere. But let's give her a second chance. Could just be a really, really bad video. Let's see what else she's got to offer, shall we?
I was craving a quick pick-me-up while walking the streets of New York, so I picked up my favorite energy bar, a stick of butter.
You've left me with no choice but to award you the prestigious title of Certified Bellend. I don't make the rules, alright? I'm just bloody sick of it, like the rest of us. Please ignore anyone spouting similar nonsense to this, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Wow,
Okay.
Wow.
How would you know that people that only poop once a week causes that? Like, how would you do that study? How the hell would you find the people that is happening to? That is so ridiculous. And ironic that he says, if you're listening to this, just
trust the research, lads. What? That's all you need to do. Trust the data. The data is always right. Oh my God! Like, it's just like what do you want me to say? Like, she's been doing this. She's been doing this for 6 years. She's cleared her skin. She looks incredible. She's, what I mean, like honestly, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say.
At her profile, at her YouTube page, and look why she is doing this. I mean, just this tiny bit of curiosity. Yeah. It's not even there.
So she's a Bellend. She's after improving her health. She's after getting rid of her skin issues. She, as I said, she looks incredible. But despite all of this, she's still a Bellend.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
And I can't remember. I think we were talking we talked to Dave Mack on Carnivore Evolutions. Actually, I was subbed in for Mark, and he was saying that too. He's like 1,500 plus interviews of people doing miraculous things. So who are you going to listen to? You have this guy spouting off to do the same thing that got you sick. You're just not doing it good enough, or you need to be better. And then you have all these people that are resolving these unbelievable stories of people doing it for themselves, and they're doing it a little differently. It's not all just one. Okay, it's unbelievable how this works, and it's you hear this and you're just like, are you kidding me, man?
Yeah, and I find it a bit arrogant also that he is deciding for her that she is not thriving. I mean, based on what? Yeah, he mentioned the word 3 or 4 times, association.
Yeah, I got, and Lisa pointed out too, she got her period back as well. Oh, you did it wrong. What? Right? Don't listen to her. All the women that are suffering with things that she could be a role model for, just don't listen to her because it's wrong. Unbelievable.
It's like Peter said, these people are thriving on this diet. Like there's so many stories out there, successful stories, and the audacity of these influencers that just keep telling people that this is fake, this is not real, this won't last. It's like, holy shit, guys, wake up! Seriously, wake the fuck up.
Yeah, Mark, if you normally those people would say like, yes, she is thriving now, but wait for 5 or 10 years. So
it's not sustainable.
if he would have said that,
it's crazy.
Then
crazy.
In some way he would have made a sort of he would have been thinking and making at least using some logic. But now he's just saying she is not thriving. I mean, based on what? I mean, he hasn't investigated what she's doing in her daily life and all these things, how she's feeling and all this stuff.
You know,
even the smallest grain of logic or thinking.
Whatever happened of just moving away from real research and just listening to real life experiences?
Because you have to trust the science, Mark.
It's crazy. It really is.
You have to trust this textbook. It's telling me.
That's what drives me crazy, because every time you have this conversation with these people, it's like, well, I'm going to send you on this. I'm going to send you on this study, and I'm like, stick your study up your hole. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I know, man. And
honestly, it's just crazy.
And when we look at that argument about sustainability and like longevity and bullshit, like what are the statistics? Okay, don't quote me exactly on this, but I'm pretty sure that if you're 50 years old in North America anyway, you're on a medication. It's pretty like the odds are pretty crazy. Then when you get to 60 years old ish, most people are polymedicated.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone's not medicated at all into their 70s, 80s, when is this disaster going to happen? I mean, it's crazy. It's just nuts. And I don't know, it's just this fight probably will never die. But I mean, I would just, anybody who's wondering which side you want to be on, pick your own side and learn about this and listen to people that are doing it. That's what
And I've done a few videos on this guy. And the reason why I've done a few videos because the food that he's eating is absolutely horrendous. He's telling people that you can have your protein yogurt as long as it matches your overall caloric intake. And it doesn't make a difference where the protein comes from. As long as it says protein on it, that's the most important thing. We all know that. It doesn't matter where it comes from. And this is what drives me crazy.
I've been watching a few of his videos, and I'm not the person to judge an influencer by his looks or anything, but I have to mention it. I mean, he is doing fitness apparently. I haven't checked how much, but I get the impression that this guy is like thin on the outside and fat on the inside. I mean,
he doesn't look like. And the thing is, Peter, he never takes his top off. Never. All you see him with a t-shirt on. Nothing. So if you're gonna say something, I want to see the evidence. Show me what you look like. Yeah. Show me what you look like, because this is what we're all falling for at the moment. We're all convinced that if we see someone who has amazing abs, we look at the women, they look amazing, they like to show off their body. Okay, there's some evidence to back up what you preach on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Okay, but this guy does none of that. None of that. He just talks. Yeah. That's all he does. He just talks. He's convinced that if he just talks, he's the number one fitness influencer in the world.
Yeah, well,
go away, will you? Go away.
And it's those are the things that won't die. And I mean, I was studying to be a nutritionist, man. I read their textbooks. I was like, I questioned every step of the way, and that was the biggest. It was ridiculous to look at. They're saying that you need complete protein. They break it down for what complete protein is, and then they tell you not to eat too much of it. That's exactly what this nutritionist 101 spouts off, that it's better to eat this incomplete protein. And it's like, what? It just doesn't make sense at all. And then the complete protein that is nourishing your body is killing you faster. That sums up everything. Whether you want to call it colon cancer or whatever, you need fiber. This is the thing. So it's giving you heart disease, but it's saving you at the same time. What? It doesn't make sense at all.
I was listening to a podcast today with Stephen Bartlett, with Robert Lustig, and the reason why I wanted to hear it because he was saying that he's the #1 sugar expert in the world, and I was like, okay, this is my field. I want to hear this, and it was going really, really well until we got halfway through the podcast, and then he started talking about fiber.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, oh, like seriously, you
yeah.
just. The first 45 minutes of the podcast was absolutely amazing. I was on board with everything he said. But the minute he mentioned fiber, I was like, okay, I'm going downhill now.
Well, Robert Lustig, to his credit, like he's like his book Metabolical was a wild read. Like, and he's challenging the medical system. But to his credit, I know he doesn't really like preach one specific diet, but he does say carnivore works, and he's not against it, but he does mention the fiber thing quite a bit, and it's I don't know, I think it's just logic and reason and common sense and figuring it out. If it's not essential nutrient, then you don't really need it. That's the thing, and we're proving it in real time all over the place. And I mean, I still get asked there. People ask me like, how do you shit? And I'm like, I shit great. Like, I don't understand. There's no smells. There's no noise. It's like in, out, we're good, buddy. And that's never happened in my life. Like, man, I had some disaster times on the toilet. And it was like,
whoever thought the conversation would be based around like how do you go to the toilet? You need fiber to go to the toilet, and it's like
I can usually tell by how much fat I've eaten how quick it is, and we're talking in seconds. This is the difference. It's not like it's a bunch of time. This is just like, oh, you had a bunch of.
We've all been there, Tony. Never trust a fart. Never trust a fart.
And I mean, it's unbelievable how people like, and I know you, Mark, sometimes, you don't go to the bathroom for 3 days. People freak out like, oh my God, you're blocked up. No, I'm not actually. I'm absorbing nutrients. Thank you very much. And it's funny when you put in fiber, the body's probably going, get this shit out of me faster because I don't want it. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable when we talk shit about how it happens. And that's the thing. Sean O'Mara said one time, he's like, human beings are not supposed to be noisy. Snoring, gasping for air, farting, making noise, like all these things are not really.
Makes no sense, right? You're sleeping in the jungle, and I mean, you're just telling where you are,
telling
right?
the tiger to eat you, right? That's it.
Yeah. No, it's gone beyond a joke. It really is.
And I mean, it's just so funny how this world, like, everything is so like, oh, you have to go to the bathroom once a day. Who said that? Where was there a journalist back in the ancestral times where they're like, okay, once a day, did you do twice a day, or did you 3 times a day? Hey, village, let's have a consensus here. No, it was pretty natural, and it didn't really have to be thought about.
We're the only animal that has to abide to rules when eating. I mean, you have to think about what you're doing. That's just silly.
It should be, and I mean,
it sounds a bit strange, like I'm saying it now, but I'm of course not preaching to just eat whatever you want. I mean, not in this environment, but.
Well, yeah, that's we have to do it once in a while. We have to talk some shit because it's one of those arguments. Like, oh, people don't even think you go to how do you go to the washroom? It's so blocked up. It's like, you have no idea how the natural functions happen. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And it is one of those things that you have to feel it. You have to feel the difference. That if that's the one thing that's hanging you up on trying an animal-based or carnivore diet, once you feel this, you can't argue with somebody that knows what's going on. Like, I'm telling you, I am magical in that 1 to 2 minutes tops that you spend 20 minutes with a magazine because you can't get it out. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's also a thing that makes me wonder. There's just one food group on the carnivore diet that causes constipation or other troubles, and that is dairy, especially cheese. So that, to me, tells me actually that we shouldn't. I mean, strictly speaking, we shouldn't eat it at all, probably. Because
Probably.
well, we can get away with probably 50 grams or so, and you won't get constipated. But if I eat half a pound of cheese,
like you did in the beginning of this show.
no, but I mean, I've been to France. And I've been eating it, but I ate more stuff, so that helped to push it down. But cheese, I mean, try it for a few days. Just the cheese diet, and you'll regret it.
You'll be clogged up. You'll be clogged up big time, yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. All right, boys, we're moving on. We got some other videos here. Peter, you lined up some stuff. Let's get into it.
Yeah, there was one more. No, we talked about the Campbell soup.
No, but I think we covered them. I think we covered both of them.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what then? Let's dive in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll line up my video. Yes.
He's not weird.
What I've been eating? Well, I went to France, so yeah, we should have had some French chanson in the background, but or accordion. But let's have a look. I went to this. I cannot control it, so I'll just let it loop and talk about it. I went to this nice chef cook. Stayed a few days there with some other people, and well, look at what all this carnivore stuff that we've been eating. Nice, right?
Yeah.
But they shot a deer, and we cut it up. But yeah, here you already see it. What happened in the evening?
Jeez.
There was a lot more stuff. This is still carnivore. Nice meat and cheese.
Oh, Peter.
I did drink some wine. I do it like 2-3 times a year at New Year's Eve, for example. And personally, I don't get troubles too much. I mean, I feel it the next day if I would drink 2 glasses of wine because I'm not used to it. But for an alcoholic beverage, I think it's relatively benign wine.
When in France, right? I mean, probably some interesting wines there for sure. So
yeah, and the consideration for me this time was that this was a very good chef cook, a friend, and he invited us, and he can cook very well, and I know I can handle it if I eat it. And a few days later, I'll go back to the carnivore diet. I do a reset, and I won't fall into the trap of continuing eating in that way.
How many people in the chats forgive Peter for having a little bit of wine? Let us know that you send him the love. We feel you, Peter. You know, if anything, we're doing this all is to enjoy your life, right? Like that is
and I think that's also a bit how it should be. Like if there is a festivity and you do have a banquet or a super nice dinner, and you don't get serious health troubles, you don't get triggering of your addiction, do it once or twice a year or so, and it's fine. I mean, it's not that I would miss it if I don't do it, but here I was with a group of people, and they were like-minded. So there was one carnivore and some other people that they are focused on natural foods, and you can see it in the pictures. We went to a French market, and this deer was shot, and we bought some good vegetables like a sweet potato, and the cook he prepared it very nicely. So it was not focused on the potatoes and the sweet potato, and there's an onion here and there, and we ate oysters, that sort of stuff.
Well, my girlfriend is French, so you know we it's funny how you say this because all the French sauces and all the root cuisine, it's all the healthy stuff like confit, like frying or like boiling your duck in duck fat is actually good for you. And it's like all
that stuff was there as well, like fat of gras de canard and liver, the goose liver. It's super nutritious as well. I'm not showing a blood glucose curve, but on the last day, I also indulged on a piece of bread, and that's quite unusual for me because.
How dare you, Pierre? How dare you?
But again, a French bread, a sourdough bread, so. I took a slice, and this I would really. I've never done it in all the 3 years of carnivore, actually not even eating a sweet potato, that sort of thing. So on the carbs, I'm usually very strict. So here I could say that I fell into the trap of trying it.
Well,
with the excuse that somebody prepared it and you have to eat it.
But that's the thing, Pierre. You're saying that you just tried it. It's not like you did it all the time. I mean, Sean Baker says this all the time. He says when it's his child's birthday, he's not going to have a piece of cake. He just gets back on the next day and he gets back to what works best for him. And I think that's important. That, like you mentioned, Tony, that if it fits into your lifestyle and you're happy and you're only doing it once or twice every so often. What's the issue?
Yeah,
we know it's not good for us, but at the end of the day, if it makes you happy and you're mixing with a good crowd, and you know what I mean, the conversation's going really, really well, and they just come out with a glass of wine. What's the problem?
And in defense of the old world cultural bread, their idea, like I learned this before I was a carnivore, even carbs, about curing bread, and it was about the gluten. Like the old world French bread, they cure it so the gluten content, even in this shit wheat, goes down. Like they have a process that they do, and obviously sourdough and these ways of getting nutrition and minimizing the damage it's causing, because that's the reason why they made sourdough. That's the reason why they cure it. They know that these things were, agitating to say the least, harmful at the extreme side. But they had ways of doing these things. And in North America specifically, I mean, I think we saw a video one time, or I put out a video about you better stop eating bread today, especially here, how they're spraying it with shit, how the whole thing is made. And I know people report that. They go to Italy or they go to France, they eat pasta in Italy. It's not the same thing as in the States or in Canada.
There are so many differences. I mean, apart from the sourdough thing, if you buy regular bread, there is a process. If you go to a real bakery, they put the dough together with the water for several hours, and there's already a process starting with enzymes, breaking down the gluten, I think, and that sort of things. And there was another thing I forgot it, but anyway, that's I didn't eat it for nutrition, so I just took a piece, realizing that it's just for taste. And actually, I think I could do the same with a piece of cake, but I'm not attracted to a piece of cake. So
but that's the thing about it. But that's the thing, Pierre. You're in full control of that situation, because the next day you got back on track. You were in full control, but you're not doing what the carnivores are doing now lately, where they're eating tons of carbohydrates. They're eating it every single day. You can clearly see there's a problem there. With you, it's like I said, you were interacting with people. And you were like, okay, I'm going to have a little bit. The next day I can get back on track. You are in full control of that situation.
I think, Mark, that there's one aspect that also plays a role, is the fact that now in modern society, I mean, we should party every weekend, right? And so if I were to party every weekend and meet a group of people and have a dinner like this, or not necessarily even the dinner or a drink, but all these things, if it becomes a normality, then I will also be triggered and tempted to do more and more and more. Because if I would have this dinner a few more times, no way that I'm going to have the discipline to stay carnivore.
Well, and that's what, a lot of times, especially like Mark, I know you see this too, when we're taking on clients, you have to find out where people are starting from, because if they're broken, your 0 point, your reset point is going to be way different than somebody that's already, somewhat metabolically healthy, somewhat that's, it's different. So a lot of people think they give themselves the excuse way too early, because it depends on where you're at. And I mean, a couple of birthdays ago, I was like, I'm going to go eat some cake. I'm going to do this. And I went myself to the grocery store to find a cake. And anybody that wants to do this experiment on yourself, you'll talk yourself out of it really quick. Because I started reading ingredients, and I was just like, "Ooh, that cake looks good," and I read the ingredients. Nope. Then I ended up buying ice cream that was 3 ingredients, like sugar, cream, eggs. That was it. And I was like, I talked myself. I completely railroaded my own cake experience because I was reading ingredients, and it was a deterrent, because once you know all this stuff, you're like, get that shit's not coming in me. Nope. Soybean oil. What the hell is that doing on a chocolate cake? Nope. And it's just a way that I didn't end up getting cake. And that's not to say if I'm at a family member's birthday that I'm going to be an asshole and just say, I don't eat cake. But that was an interesting sort of experiment that I did. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. So.
And you made a very, very good point, Tony, about people being broken. Like if you're broken at the very, very beginning, you have to give your body time to get onto the other side before you introduce these foods back in again. Because if you don't, it's never going to change. That cycle is always going to be there. You're always going to be addicted. You have to give your body at least 6 months before you even attempt to bring these foods back in again.
And the point too, Mark, is that there's not necessarily any time on the back end. Like you don't know how long that is. Some people, I quite often, like, I don't preach absolutes. Like, just take it for what it is, day by day. But it's not, because we always focus on what we're going to be missing out if we do these diets or we do these interventions. But the body's healing factor, everybody's different, man. And it's and it's even like fat adapted. There's no specific set time that you will be fat. Like it's I think I'm still getting fat adapted because I notice I'm getting more efficient. I know we've all talked about our body's efficiency the longer we do this, but it's crazy how we think we broke ourselves in 30, 40, 50 years and we're going to fix it in 2 weeks. It just is not true.
Yeah, and it depends on the person as well. Like you guys know me, like I cannot add carbohydrates back into my diet at all because if I do, I'm in serious trouble. It sets me off. I know I would be the opposite to you, Pierre. The next day I'd be eating sugar again. Straight away. I wouldn't be able to control it. And I'd be having that meal, I'd be having the glass of wine or whatever, but an hour later I'd want more. Yeah. And that's where I can't control my sugar addiction. Whereas now that's why I have to stay strict animal based because I'm in full control of my emotions. Yeah. I can't allow myself to go back down there because it's a dark route. I just don't want to go near ever again because I've seen the damage it does to me. So I think it depends. It really depends on the person. If you're really, really sugar addicted and you've battled this for a very, very long time, you need to be honest. You need to be
Mark,
honest with yourself.
Yeah, I would be like you, Mark. I think if I didn't have diabetes, because that's my safety net. I like those sweet things as well. Actually, also the things like chips and that sort of stuff. So I would be eating that as well.
Even
without
chips.
Limitless.
I was a chip addict since I was 7 years old, and I had one brand of chips, corn chips, that I would eat on that. And now that's the same thing I would do. Is I just read the ingredients. If I'm ever wondering if they're maybe they'll taste good. Not to mention 2 years ago when I put a chip in my mouth, I spat it out because it was so gross. And I was like, how is this possible? My whole life, I would eat like a giant bag at least once a week, at least. And that's saying something. Probably two. You know what I mean? And that was my I went low carb keto and I still had that as my cheat. And I was like, eventually, as I, went more animal based, I let it go and it's gone from my life. And they taste disgusting. They don't even taste like they taste like a bunch of chemicals, and it's unbelievable. So we do change and we do evolve, but it's know thyself is a very important thing, and being honest with yourself too, right? Yeah, but
I think that like you said, that key word there, control. Yeah, because that's where everybody fails when they go on a diet. They have no control of their situation. If they can control their situation, they wouldn't be going back and do these diets all the time. So it's like if you haven't got control of your own situation, then you're gonna fail. Yeah, it really is that simple. Yeah, you have to be in control of your situation.
Yeah. And that's the time too, to have those speed bumps, to have those hiccups. They're going to set you back, but it's almost like the learning curves and the necessary stuff to go through to get back on the bike, get back on the horse and keep going. And it just shows you, like, I mean, you talk to a normie and you say, well, just stop eating bread for a week. Oh, no, I couldn't. You're addicted. No, I'm not. Stop eating bread for a week. No. That's the conversation. Well, you're addicted. No, I'm not. Stop eating bread for a week.
And isn't that amazing, isn't it? Everybody will convince you into thinking that carbohydrates are not addictive. But then the minute you say to them, okay, I want you to go 5 days without eating any carbohydrates. And they're like, okay, what do you mean carbohydrates? I'm talking about everything: rice, bread, pasta, chips. Yeah. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. Well, there you go. You're addicted. You know what I mean? There you
their
go.
fallback is, but you need them. No, you don't.
Yeah. You need them. You need them because you're addicted. Do you not understand here? The hypocrisy is unbelievable.
Yeah. It's it's priceless when you say, well, all carbohydrates are sugar. No, they're not. Yeah, they are. No, they're not. It's like this the looping conversation is just like, okay, man,
just mental. It's just honestly, you just can't get through to these people.
But that frustrates me a lot that on the food labels, a thing like starch is not labeled as sugar. So all these packages where they say like no added sugar or no sugar, so also no natural sugars, and then it's full. I mean, there was like, that was what I was thinking about. My son, well, he's not on a carnivore diet or anything, but I bought some beef jerky for him from the supermarket, and it was 100% natural, no sugar. And on the label it said like 1.5 or 2 grams of carbohydrates.
I was like, how?
I was really looking at the food. I was searching. I didn't find it. There were all kinds of spices, and so let's say that's fine. And then a small section said like maize starch. So, there you have it. No sugar.
And it's like this.
It turns into sugar in your mouth already. But
modified dehydrated date syrup is fucking sugar. Okay, like that's what it is. Like all those names for it. It's crazy. I'm working on a video right now, going through labels and explaining the sugar factor and how it's different in different countries too, like the laws and all that stuff, like the natural foods. What the hell does that mean? Oh, it's natural. Okay. Right? There's probably a million different laws. Well, boys, I think maybe we'll wind it up today. We've had a good one. I've had a lot of fun. Lots of appreciation for the chats, everybody getting involved, a couple new people we see. Thanks for coming out and supporting us. We do appreciate you. We appreciate the comments and the chat rooms. And if anybody's looking to tell their story, please reach out to Mark. We'd love to have you and talk to you. Our interviews are coming out Saturdays, but now we're kind of rolling with them. And also Carnivore Evolution, Victoria and Mark, they have a podcast they do. And we want to hear your story. We want to promote this way and all of our effort into striking down the people like that guy that I don't even know his name. I've never seen him before, but that guy that spouts off this ridiculousness. So we're trying to battle back and fight for the human race, man. That's what we're trying to do. So boys, any final thoughts, any final things, and where can people get a hold of you?
Go ahead, Peter.
The Dutch Carnivore on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And final thoughts, eat carnivore. It's maybe also for myself.
Right on. Mark?
And you guys want to share your story again, reach out to me. My email is nsmark93@gmail.com. We'd love to have you on. And you can find me on social media, on Instagram and TikTok at fitnessbeyondtime01.
And if you want to reach out to me, all platforms, Tony_food for thought. And come follow us, follow me, if you want to reach out, Tony Stewart Coach at Gmail. We are here trying to get everything going. Please go out. Anybody that's here that isn't already, go support the carnivore community worldwide on Instagram and YouTube. This is it. We're in a battle for our human rights and sovereignty. It's pretty clear that they do not want us healthy. So we have to battle on. And also, please go support Mark and Victoria's Carnivore Evolution podcast. They are on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We are here live every Sunday. This is the Meat of the Matter podcast. That is Peter. He is Mark. I am Tony. And we will see you very soon, if not next Sunday. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.